Whenever Henry finishes a day's work, his driver stops him by the forest. But first, his driver had to sign a special book to know he's standing on the main line. That way, he would avoid any accidents from the other engines. Henry loves the green forest. The trees surrounded the area of the peaceful Sodor wildlife. But it's not just the trees that Henry loved, there was also the animals. This is their home, and even though there was the presence of engines, they weren't afraid of them, and they usually come up to Henry and his crew peacefully. One day, Henry was taking a goods train towards the mainland. As he was passing through the forest, he and his crew heard a couple of gunshots in the distance. "What on earth is that?" Henry yelled. "Sounds like hunters," gasped his driver. "Hunters?" Henry exclaimed. "We must stop them. Animals aren't meant to be killed." "Can't do much about it, Henry. If they have a hunting license, we can't do anything about it. We don't know if they have one or not." Henry was so sad that he nearly cried. Later that night, the other engines were talking about the mysterious hunters. "The police have been informed about it, but they couldn't find traces of these hunters," said James sadly. "They must have a hunting license. The police and council must have known about it," said Bear. The engines all exchanged comments and theories until the Fat Controller came to stop the noise. "Quiet, please," he boomed. "I've been informed by the police about these hunters lurking around the forest. They can't find any trace still, but they're still tracking them down until they prove they have permits." Henry sighed. Then he went unhappily to sleep. Early the next morning, Henry made his way with a flying kipper. As he made his way through the forest, he heard the gunshots again, and followed by a new sound. A barking dog. Henry and his crew were very shocked by this. Then, shooting out of the bushes, was a small deer. "Driver, stop!" shouted Henry. The driver saw the deer and they stopped just in time. Then came the hunters with their dog. "There it is!" shouted one of them. Just then, Henry wished steam angrily at the hunters. The hunters were covered in smoke, and the deer charged away towards the other side of the forest. "Oi, get that thing!" "You're not going anywhere!" snapped the fireman. "You're breaking the law!" "Ha! A piece of paper's not telling me what to do. Now stand aside, we got a deer to hunt." Then out of the distance was Percy. He saw the hunters and stopped right in their track. "Get out of our way!" snapped one of the hunters rudely. Then Percy wished steam along with Henry. At last, the hunters had given up. Henry's crew put them in the brake van. Their rifles were left in Henry's cab with all the bullets out. The next morning, the Fat Controller was with the Chief of Police, praising Henry and Percy and their crew's action. "Well done, all of you. You took the matter by yourself, and the 2 hunters have been charged." But Henry was still sad. The Fat Controller looked at the solemn engine. "Henry, aren't you happy?" "I am, sir, but the animals are likely to be in danger again, and I wish the forest was a place for animals to live and breed, and to take care of their cubs. Who'll be there for them if, say, their mother got killed by man?" The Fat Controller knew Henry was right. Then an idea came to his head. He turned his heel and walked away. A week later, Henry was given a surprise. He passed the forest and saw a sign saying, "Henry's Forest Animal Reserve." As he stopped at Elsbridge, the Fat Controller stepped out of the carriage. Henry beamed. "Its opening was yesterday by the mayor and I named the park. No animal will be hunted down now." The Fat Controller was right. All the animals are now living in peace, and there are no sign of hunters everywhere. Henry was very happy about the Fat Controller's wonderful idea.